Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. I know that I've been updating you guys with XRP for a long period of time. XRP's been one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, and I've been super optimistic about the long-term prospect of this crypto because of the fact that it's been such a strong performing asset throughout all of its time being inside of these markets. I've had the opportunity to invest and trade XRP for a couple years now, and I've made a lot of money in the process. Over the course of this bear market, I've been dollar cost averaging in this entire correction, and it's caused a lot of people to get shaken out, a lot of the XRP community to sell their bags, and a lot of people to give up in the process. I think that these people are going to be very, very upset with themselves, give it a couple months from now, and those people are going to be so upset, and they're going to really wish that they wouldn't have made those mistakes as far as panic selling, as far as expecting XRP to just be done for, and we're going to see it really start to take off, and it's going to leave all of these people behind. It's very similar to what happened with Bitcoin when we crashed during the COVID panic and we crashed down 60%, and then we immediately rebounded and we're over profit from that same crashing point. XRP and all of these altcoins are about to do the exact same thing, and all of the panic sellers are going to be left sitting there angry and very furious with themselves. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. I also have a Discord community with over 7,500 members. This thing is growing so fast, and I really want to get this community growing as big as possible so that we can have as many new people inside of this community learning, progressing, and profiting all with me and the rest of the people inside of this group. So if this is interesting to you, all you got to do to join, which is totally free, is click in the description of this video, and there you're going to find the invitation link to my channel. Now on my Discord server, I also offer some of my more exclusive content like the video course and signals. The video course is 20 educational videos that teach you guys all of the trading plans, all of the indicators, and all of the everything that I use when it comes to trading and investing in these markets. You're going to know all of my exact strategies that I use to profit so that you guys can actually start doing it on your own. Now, the signals are actually a really good way to copy all of my trades that I'm taking. You'll know exactly what my long-term portfolio is, and you'll have a trading plan based off of your own specific needs that's really going to help you guys to profit over this next cycle. So make sure that you guys join the Discord server, click the invitation link in the description of this video, shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now with all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for the support. I know how crazy and brutal these bear markets can get, but I promise that we are so close to the end of this thing when we are really going to start experiencing those insane parabolic rises and the amazing life-changing profits at hand. So with all that being said, let's quit talking and jump right into this video today. Alrighty guys, now here we are taking a look at XRP on the dollar. We're going to go through, talk about XRP on the dollar. We're also going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin pair a little bit. But mainly on the dollar, I just want to talk about a couple major points here. I do believe that a breakout is imminent inside of XRP, and we're about to start breaking out of this long-term downtrend. I know I updated you guys with that last week, but I wanted to go over some things because in my opinion, this thing just looks insanely bullish. Now, obviously there's going to be people that are going to comment below, and they're going to say, oh, well, everybody's been saying it's going to break out. And those are the same people that are going to miss the breakout when it actually happens. And instead, they're going to stuck FOMO buying the top when we're actually taking profits. And that's the way the emotional psychology works. I saw the same exact thing happen when Bitcoin crashed from all this COVID panic. I had a number of different people inside of my Discord said, oh, I'm going to sell, I'm going to take my profits, I'm going to take my loss right here, and then I'm going to buy back lower. And this is the way that the psychology works. I told every single person inside of my Discord that anybody that panic sold this correction very greatly regret it, and that's exactly what happened. If you take a look at Bitcoin, since the COVID panic, we're well and above beyond that level. We're all in profit, and then the people that panic sold are sitting there probably completely out of crypto right now, waiting for the downside dip that will never come. And even if it did come, they probably still wouldn't buy it because they're too scared. And that's just the way the market works. Now, I wanted to make this video to make sure that all of the XRP community, everybody that's out there that supports XRP is here watching this, because what is about to come very soon is the defining point of this bearish cycle. Now, XRP has been in a bearish trend since 2018. Since 2018, XRP has failed to make a higher high, And this is really important because some of the other altcoins out there actually did make a higher high. So it's really important that we watch this right now so that we can pay attention and that we can make sure that we have a sound trading plan on how to actually profit and go about profiting inside of this cycle. Now for me, I'll talk about my average entry prices, I'll talk about how I averaged into this dip, and then we're also going to be talking about some technical levels that everybody needs to be paying attention for. Now really, when I see this chart, I see a couple things. Well, at first, we had this short-term descending resistance, and we broke out of this one right here, but then we just started a new bearish trend in that one's place. And we can see that that's basically been the case since that point in time, around September of 2018. We've maintained this downtrend. Every time we reacted back to this descending resistance, we experienced a strong sell-off. And right now, we are at this midway point where we're really close to the descending resistance, but we're still a little ways off. Now, in my opinion, the next move that we're going to see is either going to be a very sudden crash that's going to take us to, 6 cents to potentially down to 3 cents, or it's going to be a strong breakout that completely shatters this descending resistance. You guys already know my stance. I am bullish, and I don't actually expect us to have these sharp stabs all the way down to some of these levels down in here. That just seems unlikely to me, although it is always a possibility, which is why I brought it up. Now, when we look at this, so right here, I have a little layer of the Bitcoin correction. This was when the crash happened from 8K down to 3.8K, and then this was the rebound on the way up. Now, I've been updating you guys with this, and this is why I think that this is the most important thing that we need to be considering here. Altcoins, it's a no-brainer, and everybody knows this. Altcoins follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes the first impulses, Bitcoin leads the way, and the rest of the altcoin follows. And that's the thing, guys. Everybody's gotten so shaken up about Bitcoin, they've gotten so shaken up about the altcoins that they're going to miss the biggest opportunity that we've literally had. And that's the cool thing. That's the reason why I've just dollar cost averaged it into this entire dip. It's because I knew that we were going to have a bull run. And if I was wrong, I was willing to bite the bullet and be wrong. For me personally, this is a life-changing opportunity that we're not given all that often. Maybe once in a lifetime. And that's why I've been so optimistic about the longevity of crypto. I believe in the technology, which is why I have enough understanding to just keep investing, even if I experience some short-term downside. But now we're going to be taking this crash, and we're going to be layering over this chart, because this, in my opinion, is very, very important here. What we're seeing here inside of XRP is an exact correlation between what happened with Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin went from 8K, crashed to 3.8, and then we kind of built this steady uptrend here. Now, everybody was calling this a rising wedge. Literally every single person, I swear. All the bears were calling this a rising wedge. And then they said when this part happened right here, everything was over. Bitcoin was dead. We're going for new lows. Coronavirus won. All of this crap. And what happened? Bitcoin pumped super hard. And so that's why I'm really making this video today, is because once again, we're seeing the exact same thing. Only instead of it being with Bitcoin, it's happening inside of XRP and virtually every single altcoin. Just go look at an alt chart and label over this thing, and I can almost guarantee that you're going to find this pattern a number of different times. And that's exactly where we are today. Now, obviously, there is some differences between the market structure, but I think that there's way more reason to be bullish right now than there ever has been inside of XRP. What we're seeing here is just, once again, an exact correlation in market structure. And what we're seeing right now inside of XRP is mainly just the sideways consolidation here. So let's remove these real quick, and let's talk about this. Let's just compare the two cycles real quickly. So in XRP today, we can see that in Bitcoin, we kind of consolidated sideways here. We made this short-term range, and we kind of ranged here for a little while before we ended up breaking out and making that next impulse. And it looked a lot like a head and shoulder formation. A head and shoulder top. A lot of people were calling out, however you want to label it. Nonetheless, a lot of people were watching for that to fail and actually fall to new lows. Only what ended up happening was we didn't, and we broke up on the upside. And this is the exact same thing that's happening with XRP today. There's hardly any difference. And I'm seeing the exact same people talk about this in the same sort of ways. And we're seeing this once again. Now, in my opinion, it is possible that XRP could dip a little bit lower, go to 18 cents before then going up and breaking out. But nonetheless, I do believe that this is a good buying opportunity, and it doesn't really change my perspective. Either way, we're still seeing the exact same thing. Whether we get another bounce over here, we're just seeing the same market structure here. Which is why me personally, I can keep a level head in these situations. I can see from a technical perspective what has happened with Bitcoin. I know that it leads the market, and then I can see with what's happening with XRP. XRP has been a laggard, and that's why I really do appreciate investing into XRP, is because of the simple fact XRP is a laggard behind the rest of the market. It really is one of the last ones to pump. I don't know why that's the case, but I really do appreciate it. I can invest into the other coins that lead the market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Tezos, these coins that have been really outperforming, and then I can keep XRP at the ladder. I can keep XRP as an investment too, because when I take profits in those other ones, I can put those profits back into XRP because XRP pumps after those. And so what we're seeing in XRP today is the same market structure, which is why I'm leaning towards a breakout that's going to ensue very soon. And it's going to lead the way for a lot of profit potential. Now, with that being said, let's talk about a couple things here. A couple key factors that I want to talk about. So here we have the correction. Let's label it over here. Now, we also have this descending resistance, right? I believe that we're about to see a breakout happen very, very soon. And in fact, when this move actually takes place, when we do start impulsing, the next move is going to be the break from this descending resistance, which is why if you haven't bought any XRP, it's at 19 cents actually, so it's less than 20 cents. Just at its all-time high was $3.82, $3.83, something, give or take a few cents on each exchange. Just by buying right now and holding to that all-time high, you are going to see almost a 19x return. That is just completely insane. I love XRP for that reason. Out of all the high caps, it has some of the highest price targets to all-time high. I believe in XRP enough because it's maintained a top 3 status in market cap since it's been around. Obviously, it's 4 right now behind Tether, but I don't count a stable coin as much. As far as cryptocurrency goes, it's number 3 in market cap, and I don't expect this to change. They have more partnerships. They have a working product nonetheless, which hardly any altcoins actually do, and it's been here throughout the entirety of Bitcoin's bear markets, and it has always made a new high. That's what I don't understand. You're betting against a very stable trend. You're betting against one of the best performing cryptos of all time, and so I don't understand why we should be bearish right now, because really all we've done is we've filled, let's actually switch to a bigger time frame, we've already filled the short-term support. We ended up coming back down and retesting all the way to the bottom of that. I ended up buying some here at 14 cents, and so I was able to accumulate some long-term bids at almost the exact bottom here. And that's why it's so important that you don't listen to all the outside influences. You're not listening to the news. You're not listening to your neighbor. You're not listening to even people on YouTube all that much. And that's, for me, obviously in your guys' situation it might be different. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch a multitude of different YouTubers out there. For me, I don't really follow anybody else's advice but my own. Because at the end of the day, when I follow too many outside forces, I become the person making the wrong decisions, I become emotional, and I lose out on money. I am a long-term investor in here. I don't care how crazy this bear market was, because honestly, I've been through it. I already kind of experienced what those were like, and I've been here investing, sticking to a plan, and trading that plan all the way through. A lot of people will get mad at me saying, oh, you've been calling a breakout for forever, and that's the thing. When this thing breaks out, it's going to happen so quick, and it's going to go up really, really quickly to the point where people are just going to be left behind. The people that were on the fence waiting to invest in a crypto, they kept hearing all these outside influences saying that it was a scam, saying that it always goes down. A lot of the CEOs are dumping on the market. All of these things literally XRP's been doing forever. And guess what happened in the last bull run? Oh, look, it didn't crash, but it instead pumped super hard. Obviously, if you would have been watching this cycle back in the bear market, you probably wouldn't have thought this was a good setup, because it literally just was a big pump and dump. But the pump and dump pumped the hardest, and so that's the thing here, guys. Even though XRP had a gnarly correction, like 98% or some crap, it's going to go up, and that's why it's going to go up quicker than a lot of the other ones, because it's been suppressed for a long time. Whether you want to call it manipulation, whether you want to call it just the way the markets move, it doesn't matter. We're going to see a breakout on the upside, and it's going to be very, very parabolic, because all we have here is a 100% repeat fractal of back in the day. The only real difference here is the fact that this one kind of found capitulation and then made a higher high, whereas this one, at the same point, right here made lower lows. And that's okay because we had such a strong parabolic move on the way up compared to this little guy right here, and this one fully retraced, and really we were only correcting from this move right here. So this was just a lower high. So it makes sense why we didn't just keep falling through support, whereas this one, you know, a lot of people have wrote this off completely because of the fact we kept going lower. But the thing is, guys, this is still a complete higher high on that trend. How is this not a higher high? We went from 0.0 half a cent to $3.80 in one move. How is this not a higher high? How is this entire move bearish? These are the questions you got to ask yourself, because when I point it out to you guys like this in a way that's easy to understand, you start to understand how insane some of these people sound that are so bearish. And so whether it keeps going down a little bit lower, I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's actually drop it to a little bit of a closer zoomed in approach. Let's move this. Let's go into the daily here. So what I'm watching for right now, we can see that this was the previous support of the new year. We bounced and then we sold off for a new low. So we know that we've made lower lows and lower highs. But as long as we can stay above this level at 18 cents, this is a higher high. And that's exactly what we've done up to this point. That's why I said it's okay if XRP drops a little bit lower and we go to this 18-cent mark, because in my opinion, that's just going to set us up for the eventual impulse to follow. And that's the way that I'm going to be watching this cycle, and that's the way I'm going to be trading this cycle, because I foresee this being just one and the same with Bitcoin. Whether we get a short-term correction before bouncing up, I literally do not care. It all winds up in the same place. The only thing that I'd be skeptical about was if, you know, we sold through this level, maybe we sold to like 16 or 17 cents, and then we started getting rejected here. At that point, I'd be looking for shorts, because it would be apparent to me that we would be going at least back down to these lows and potentially down for a new low, down to 6 and 3.5 cents, somewhere like that. So this is the way that you would trade the market, basically. Set some buy orders if you believe in XRP long-term like I do. If not, short the market if we break down, and break down with market structure. But other than that, we have yet to do that. And this is looking way more bullish than anything. In my opinion, what we're seeing right now, this was just a one wave, and we're correcting down in that one wave before we experience a three wave. And at that three wave, I would expect it to hit about 30 cents, have a short-term correction back down, and then eventually, you know, finish out the five wave that would, I don't know how high it would take us. My guess is it would take us to, you know, 35, 37 cents, somewhere like that. But if we pull up our Fibonacci, we can actually see a more clear, precise understanding of targets. Yeah, so the 618, the three wave would have to go to at least the 618 for this to be a confirmed Elliott wave, which would be 31 cents. So it has to go to at least there. Could extend and go higher than that. I don't know. We're going to have to watch and see really what takes place. But nonetheless, I'm expecting that we're going to be heading upwards of 35 cents soon. And at that point, you know, we do have this major. Let's go to the monthly so it's a little easier to see here. Let's remove all these drawing tools. So if we go to the monthly, we can see that this used to be our strong support level right here. This is where we were holding support. We've rejected off that level a couple times. We have to reclaim that level for this to even be worthwhile here. So if we come over here and we take a look at the Elliott waves, if in fact this is a one wave, we impulse, and then that three wave takes us to 31 cents. 31 cents is going to be right at that resistance, right? We might have a short-term correction at that point. But if we can get a five wave that extends and actually breaks upwards of 35 cents, then that's going to set the way for a support and resistance flip. So if we can actually, you know, reclaim that level and get back above this, that's going to really set the way for higher expansion on the way up. And if this really is a one wave, we might be able to see that happen in the three. We might see that happen like that before we head upwards of 50 cents. It's hard to say exactly what is going to happen, but what I can say, guys, is the second that we break from this major descending resistance that we've been forming, that break is also going to coexist pretty nicely with the horizontal resistance line. And if we pull up, you know, this little guy here, we can see, let's bring it in just a teensy bit here, we can see that a breakout would put us pretty close in that same range here. All of this is coexisting and coinciding with itself in a very bullish way. It's very easy to understand here. We're at a very apex point in this market where we got to decide what way we're going to go. If we fail to break out of this descending resistance, obviously we're going to drop again, because that's been the case of the story so far. lower highs and lower lows all the way down. But in my opinion, we're seeing the terminal end of this correction, and we're about to see that breakout happening very soon, which is why I wanted to update all of the XRP fanboys out there, XRP community, anybody that follows the channel that really is just appreciative of this XRP analysis, because I know a lot of people hate this coin, a lot of people talk down, a lot of negative comments are going to be said in this because of the fact I'm bullish on a crypto that's down 98%. But the thing is, guys, smart money doesn't make money. Scared money definitely doesn't make any money. And the majority of the market is neither smart and is full of fear. So if that doesn't say anything, don't listen to outside forces. Stick to your analysis. Stick to technical levels that make sense. And then at that point, when we break the technical levels, you guys know what way it's going to go. And at this point, all of this is kind of lining up that we're about to see a breakout. Bitcoin's already at that descending resistance. I'm personally bullish on Bitcoin. Even if we see a short-term correction that takes us to the mid 7Ks, bullish market structure is still 100% intact, and I'm not going to be stressing that either way. In fact, I have cash on hand. I'm ready to accumulate any dips that we get. And in fact, if we did get back down to the 7Ks, mid 7Ks area, I would be thankful. And that's the way that we should switch our perspective. Right now is a blessing. Right now is the biggest buying opportunity that we'll probably ever see in our entire lives, specifically with cryptocurrency because of how undervalued this aspect and asset class actually is. And that's the cool part about this, guys. We have an opportunity of making life-changing amounts of money. Like I said, it was 19x from buying now and holding just to the all-time high. You put $100 in there, that's $1,900 at the top. And we all know what happened in the last cycle when we broke out of that all-time high mark. So this was the old all-time high. Oh, look, we broke out of that, and then guess what happened? The majority of the bull run started. And the same thing happened with Bitcoin once again. That's why it pays to accumulate dollar cost average into these dips, because you never really know what's going to happen. Now, I know I said that I was going to talk about XRP and the Bitcoin pair, and I kind of forgot, so let's quickly jump into that really quickly. Now, with the XRP Bitcoin pair, this one looks a little bit not as good, but it's showing a lot of bullish structure in ways of seller exhaustion. Now, that made probably no sense at all. But let's go to a weekly time frame. You guys are going to be able to see kind of what I mean here. So we do have massive bullish divergence that's formed. This bullish divergence has had lower lows in price since here. It's all the way up here. We have had 3 successful lower lows, but the RSI has failed to break below this point. We've bounced off of this, and now we've made a successful higher high on the RSI, which shows sellers are exhausting. So even if we do have to go a tiny bit lower, which in my opinion would be here at the bottom, which would be approximately about 15,000 Satoshis approximately, that's going to be the level that I'm personally watching for. Regardless, I don't really care. That's not a whole lot. I think it's still like 40%, 30%, something like that if you were to actually pull up the price tool. So obviously it is a lot, but when it comes to long term, I'm not worried about that. So it's 30% drop. 30% compared to, you know, the entire way up, it doesn't mean that much to me. And the risk to reward is still in your favor of being a bull here. So with watching this, guys, I think that we're really close to having a deciding point. Obviously, we're still making lower lows here, so the bearish market structure is still very much intact. But I believe that we're coming closer to the end of this point because the sellers are showing insane exhaustion. This is a pretty gnarly looking bullish divergence forming on this RSI. And it's really across all time frames in which it's present. And so we all know that the way these work, they're kind of just big pump and dumps on the Bitcoin pairs, majority of them, but we can still make a lot of profit on the way up. And so I've been moving Bitcoin profits into XRP, into Ethereum, into other altcoins that are outperforming Bitcoin, because I do strongly believe that we're going to continue to see these cryptos lead the rest of the market. XRP's done it since it was basically around. Ethereum's done it since it was around. And we're starting to see Chainlink and Tezos take that next step up in doing the same thing. I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to invest into crypto. I'm going to invest into XRP specifically, and you guys should really start paying attention to what's happening right now. But with all that being said, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found any value in this, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. Also, guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys join the Discord server. All you got to do is click in the description of this video. There you're going to find the invitation link to the server. On the server, I do offer some of my more exclusive content. I really do recommend guys checking that out. We've been making a lot of profits in there inside of the signals, as well as just having the course in there for you guys to learn from. it is a resource that is going to help you guys out a lot. I wish I had that back when I first got into crypto, because it really would have saved me a lot of trial and error. I lost a lot of money to get to the point that I'm at now, and I really wanted to make the course in a way to give back to that community so that you guys can understand that there is a lot better ways. Just going out and buying knowledge is so much better, because it's going to save you an immense amount of money in the long term. So make sure you guys check that out. Join the Discord. Shoot me a message if you guys want access to either the course or signals, and I'll give you more information on how to sign up with that. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And with all that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.